South Africa. How did we get here? How does the head of police intelligence get arrested for corruption? Yes, you heard right. The guy tasked with protecting us from criminal syndicates, political assassins, and terrorist threats has been nabbed by his own colleagues for corruption. What does it mean? When your top crime fighters are caught committing the very crimes they are meant to be preventing. How does that affect national security, junior police morale, and public trust? And unfortunately, this is not an isolated incident. It is part of a deeper pattern. Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Talks Politics. I am your host, Joseph Musia. Let's get right into this. Now, if you've been following the news, you'll know that Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo, Divisional Commissioner of the Police's Crime Intelligence Unit, was arrested last week alongside 6 other senior officers. This is for allegedly hiring an unqualified person to a senior position within the unit. Major General Nosipho Madondo, Brigadier Phindile Ncube, and Major General Josiah Lekalakala all face the same charges as Khumalo. Major General Philani Lushaba faces the same charges as the others, but has a separate charge related to his conduct in a 2022 to 2024 incident involving his official firearm, laptop, and mobile phone being stolen. It was initially reported as a burglary. He is charged with corruption, perjury, and defeating the administration of justice, accused of falsifying reports and interfering with the investigation to have the docket closed. Apparently, the said items were in fact removed by a lady of the night whom he had taken to his home. Brigadier Dineo Mukweli is accused of providing false information on her CV, misleading vetting personnel to secure an appointment as brigadier despite lacking the necessary qualifications. This isn't just a criminal matter. It's a national security emergency. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When crime intelligence collapses, your entire criminal justice system is in trouble. Because these are the people who should be tracking the drug lords, the extortion syndicates, and the corrupt officials stealing from Eskom and municipalities. If they are corrupt or compromised, those crimes flourish. It also means whistleblowers stay silent, evidence disappears, and political rivals get targeted instead of criminals. South Africans should be deeply worried. This is not just a case of a few bad apples. You remember the saying, a fish rots from the head down. Leadership is the foundation of any organization. It's the leaders who set the tone, establish the culture, and make the strategic decisions that impact the entire organization. Now, if this whole thing feels like deja vu, it's because we've been here before. Remember Richard Mdluli? Back in the Zuma era, Mdluli ran crime intelligence like his own personal empire. He was accused of murder, fraud, and looting the covert fund, literally buying cars and homes for his family. And what happened? He stayed in power for years, thanks to his political connections. During the 2012 ANC elective conference, the one where the Zuma camp was battling for survival, there were allegations that intelligence money was being used to fund certain political campaigns. That's right. Public security funds weaponized for internal political party dealings. This wasn't just gossip. It was confirmed in the 2018 high-level review panel on state security led by Dr. Sidney Mofamadi. That panel said intelligence agencies were being used for political factional interests, and funds were funneled to support ANC conferences, manipulate internal elections, and silence critics. Even the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, the parliamentary watchdog, couldn't get clear answers. They were stonewalled, misled, and in some cases, they were simply just ignored. To top it all, most of Mufamadi's recommendations still haven't been implemented. Let's just zoom in on the cops on the ground. Let's say you are a young officer in crime intelligence. You've just finished your police training. You want to serve your country, and you want to take down big-time criminals. What do you see? The people you report to are shady characters. Some of them seem to not have an inkling of what is happening around them. People who question their actions are targeted, and whistleblowers in your unit get suspended or transferred. What kind of message does that send? It tells junior officers loyalty matters more than the law. Corruption gets rewarded. And trying to do the right thing, that will get you isolated and it will not get you promoted. Then morale is in the toilet. And when morale drops, performance drops. That's how intelligence failures happen. Like the ones during the July 2021 riots, where crime intelligence failed to predict one of the worst public uprisings in post-apartheid South Africa. What about us ordinary South Africans? What are we supposed to do when the very people we rely on for protection are suspects in criminal investigations? Trust disappears. That's why vigilantism is growing in the townships. That's why for millions, calling the police is a last resort, not the first step. Can this be fixed though? Of course it can, but only if we get serious about change. Why don't we start with lifestyle audits for all the police's top brass? No exceptions. Independent prosecutions, the NPA and the Hawks must act fast, transparently, and ruthlessly. Better still, why don't we start with implementing the Mufamadi panel's recommendations and stop letting them gather dust in a file somewhere? And then we can strengthen internal whistleblower protections, because no reform survives if brave officers get punished for speaking out. The last but equally crucial step is to restore civilian oversight. Parliament must do its job and demand regular briefings, access to classified budgets, and public accountability. Because right now, the system is still too closed, too secret, and too vulnerable to abuse. All this is important because when crime intelligence gets captured, it's not just about a few corrupt cops. It's about the collapse of the state's ability to enforce law and order. It's about political protection records and the death of accountability. And ultimately, it's about the health of our democracy. It's not all doom and gloom though. If our justice system is still able to hold powerful figures like these to account, it means South Africa still is a functional democracy. And that is a big deal. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, comment, and share it. And if you are not yet a subscriber, please consider doing so. The aim is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And with your help, it will be a breeze. See you in the next one.